There goes a nice turn right here. And we're going,
Dance with the devil in the pouring rain. Sharks in the water, but it's all the same. I'll be holding on. I'll be holding on with you.
What's going on, internet? This is going to be my first video. And for my first video, I wanted to make this a response video to a video that I saw one particular YouTuber, but this is really directed towards two YouTubers, Yammie noob and the other one, cruza. You know, I've been riding motorcycles for a very long time, for about a decade now. I got at least 100,000 miles on my belt. Chicken strips are bullshit. This is directly towards the video that Yammie noob made, which he was talking about chicken strips is bullshit, and basically going on this this rant, voicing his opinion about chicken strips, which I thought the whole video was basically bullshit. Now I decided to make a video as a response. A couple weeks later, I seen a video that cruza made. It was basically the same video. You know, they had different opinions about it, but it was basically just talking about how retarded it is to be leaning on your bike like you some MotoGP racer. You know, chicken strips is bullshit. You can accomplish the same kind of turns counter steering as you are leaning. And I really thought the examples he was giving was really bullshit. Let's say 95% of my accidents were low sides from turning. Because I'm gonna tell you something, one of the things that really caught my attention about sport bikes was the way it was designed to lean. My first bike was a Gixxer 600, and I used to ride with these people, and I'm gonna tell you, man, these guys were the real biker boys, you know what I mean? These guys had the metal shits on their boots and on their knee pads where they could spark up the ground when they hit it, going so low that their elbow was touching the ground. This wasn't on track. You know, we don't have tracks in this city. You know, I think the nearest track would be I think it's like at least almost a 2-hour drive away. So we don't have tracks around this city, so you know, we have to make the best of it, you know what I mean? The way these guys are riding their bikes, I thought it was cool as shit. And me, here I am with my 600, I could barely tilt my bike. Chicken strip is the unused part of your tire. It's not something that people try to do for no damn reason. I can admit that there are people out there that would rather not have their chicken strips on there, you know, because they know it's an indicator for other riders to look at their bike tire, more experienced riders more than likely, because you're not an amateur pulling stunts like, you know, leaning your bike over and nearly knee dragging on the ground around 30 miles per hour turn. But it's an indicator, and it lets people know if you're scared to lean over or not. You can see the back of my tire. My bike, I don't have any chicken strips. Hell, I haven't had chicken strips, I don't know, man, back when I was like 22. You know, I get a brand new tire before that month is over, them chicken strips are gone. I don't have chicken strips, not because I try to get rid of them, but that's just the way I ride. I become accustomed to riding like that. I tend to go fast around turns. Now, I'm not crazy, although I have gone crazy. That's a story for another day. But I typically ride pretty crazy. You know, like this turn right here, I'd probably go around this turn at least 100 miles an hour. Nothing too crazy. If I really wanted to push it, I mean, I know I could do 160 around this turn. You can't say it's stupid for people trying to lean their bike over on the street. I mean, that's what the bike was intended for. It'd be like saying it's stupid for somebody with a Porsche 911 to be hauling ass. You know, what the hell you got a Porsche 911 for if you're just going to be doing the speed limit? Yeah, you could do it. You could do that in a Toyota. So, I mean, the bike itself was designed to lean over. What kind of fun would it be if you didn't use a bike for what it was intended for? See, I'm going to tell you, there's two types of riders out there. You got the guys that like to ride motorcycles, and then you got people like me, riders. We love to ride. We know when we get on this bike, it feels like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like you become one with the bike. It's kind of like Transformers. You transform into a bike. This machine becomes your leg. And if I'm not seeing things, I'd say it's a little wet up ahead. So let's hope it don't get too crazy. But the bike was meant to lean. You know, to say that, you know, people are stupid because they try to stick their knees out and lean on the ground like they in MotoGP. It'd be like saying somebody with an AR-15, let me get off this business because getting my camera all wet. And I can't be having that. But it'd be like saying you know, somebody with a scope and laser sight and a forearm grip is stupid, because that's only for the military. The accessories that go on a gun is put there not for looks. It's not because you in the military, but the military does it because it enhances your shooting ability. So when you lean off your bike, it doesn't matter if you're going 60 miles around a 30 or 100 around a 30. When you lean off your bike, dang, it's getting wet out here. But when you're leaning off your bike, it gives you the capabilities, the ability to make sharper turns when you're going into turns fast, or even when you're going into turns that you're not really familiar with. You know, these sports bike riders like me, you know just as well as I know that we've been down turns that we had no idea how the turn was going to come out. And I remember one time I was going around a turn that I thought it was going to be a slight bend. That's what it looked like when I was going off the exit. And I was getting off the exit around 80 miles an hour. But this turn turned out to be a complete circle all the way under the overpass. And I'm gonna tell you something, if I wasn't leaning off my bike, I would have crashed. There's no doubt about it. You can't, there's turns you cannot accomplish counter steering. We're simply counter steering. Now if you're going around turns and following the speed limit all the time, then yeah, counter steering is no problem. I'm not trying to say people who counter steer are whack or anything like that. Counter steering is actually the safe and proper way to turn a bike. Now leaning off your bike is also a safe and proper way to turn your bike when it comes to making turns fast. But if you want a sports bike and you just do the speed limit all the time, then what the hell are you doing on a sports bike? You know, I know there's probably people watching this right now and they're like, motorcycle riders like you, they give motorcycle riders like us a bad name. No, fuck that. It's motorcycle riders like me that give motorcycle riders like you a good name. It's motorcycle riders like me is what people look for when they see a sports bike coming down the street. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody's gotten the hand signals before. Rev it up, pop that wheelie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what motorcycles are famous for. I mean, when the movie Biker Boys came out, I mean, that put sport motorcycles on a whole nother level. After seeing that movie, everybody wanted to get a sports bike. And I sure hope this rain ain't messing on my GoPro adapter. It probably is. Alright, I'm back. I appreciate other motorcyclists. I appreciate their input, their opinions, but this opinion was, to me, it was kind of bullshit. This guy Yammie noob, he got probably riding with some guys or something like that, and they might have saw his chicken strips and made some comments about it, and he probably got all butthurt about it, so he decided to make a video talking about it. It's just bullshit. But in reality, chicken strip is an indicator, and it's a very good indicator. The reason why it's called chicken strips is because when an experienced rider, especially when it comes to cornering, when an experienced rider sees chicken strips, that's my daughter, but when an experienced rider sees chicken strips on your bike, well, that just tells them that you're just scared to lean over. And you know, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and I see that's a lot of mistakes riders make. As a matter of fact, I seen a video from Yammie noob about his motorcycle accident.
Let's kind of walk through exactly what happened in my wreck.
You know, I hope he's doing okay now, and I hope he didn't quit riding. I think that's what the video was about, that he's done riding in the streets. But you know, that shouldn't stop you from riding from the streets. You know, just get back up and do it again and learn from your mistake. You know, that's a rider. I've known a lot of people that get into an accident and they never want to ride again. Get back up, get back on the bike, you know, learn from your mistakes. There was a video I saw where he went back to the turn that he made, and I guess he was explaining how it happened. And I remember watching the video and telling myself, the way he was saying it happened, it just didn't, it really didn't add up to me. You know, like I said, I've been down over 10 times, you know, and most of them were low sides. And I'll go ahead and say it right now, don't ever get Dunlop. Dunlop suck. Michelin is the way to go. Right now I have Pirelli Angels, and in my opinion, they're very expensive tires. I think with tax and everything, it's $225 out the door for back tires only. They've got to be the best tires that I've ever had. But he was explaining how he got off how he ran off the road and nearly hit a boulder, and I think he like injured his neck and totaled his bike. The way he was saying it happened, he was blaming it on a debris from construction or something like that, or the side of the road had dirt. But the way he fell, you know, I've been in low sides before, and if that was a low side, I'm gonna tell you something, his body wouldn't have ended up where it was. I mean, he said he crashed into the fence. If that's true, which I can't completely say he's a liar, he's lying, but I'm just going off of my experience, you know? He had to have been going into that turn pretty damn fast, and if he was, then he really doesn't have any business talking about people that's leaning off their bike and talking about, you know, it's stupid to lean off your bike. It's stupid to speed, period.
The person who was behind me said that I was unfortunately speeding, which is really likely given the way that I ride.
But a lot of us people on sports bikes, we tend to speed. We get out of hand with it. Because I mean, let's just face it. When you pull this throttle right here, it just wants to go. And that's why I love sports bikes. But he had been going into that turn pretty damn fast. Or he went into the turn a little fast, got a little target fixation, was relying on counter steering, and went off the road. Not leaning enough on his bike, I should say. That's my analysis on the crash. A lot of YouTube videos I see where people just run off the road, and that's pretty much what it is. They don't know how to lean properly off their bike. Had they known how to lean properly off the bike, a lot of these accidents that I've seen on YouTube, they wouldn't have happened. I wanted to give a response to that video because I thought the video was crybaby ass shit. It's like if somebody came out with a video saying wheelies are stupid. If you can't do a wheelie, don't come out with a video saying wheelies are stupid. But if you got chicken strips the size of a ruler on your back tire, and you're coming out with a video talking about chicken strips are just stupid, well, it just makes the video look stupid. For me, I have fun out here in the streets and on the road. I can get crazy sometimes. I weave in and out of traffic. I ride between cars. You know, now I've been riding for so long, 150 around a 40, it doesn't really seem like that much. There's a turn coming up pretty soon here. Hopefully my camera doesn't fall off. I gotta get some gas. Why did I do that? I didn't need to do that. I'm not in a hurry anywhere. I mean, you should see me going to work when I'm late. You guys that are watching that are riders, you know why I did that. That shit's fun. And I know there's probably a couple pissed off drivers back there, but the price you pay for having fun, I guess. But most people on sports bikes, I mean, we ride these sports bikes because we love to have fun. And for those of us that don't have a track anywhere near them, I mean, we got to make the best we can, you know? And we're gonna have to leave because I just ran that red light and I just saw an unmarked come in here. So let's continue the video then, you right? I don't know if that cop actually came after me, but I did run a red light. You seen him pull into the gas station, and I wasn't gonna stick around to see if he was coming after me. Who is that? He's after me? Maybe he's not, but he's right there at the light. There goes a nice turn right here. And we're going, Gonna scoot up in here like so. Gonna pass these people like so. Switch on over. We heading home. 30 miles an hour. But fuck that. I'm gonna go 130. Do a little brake in here. Lean into this, baby. And we off the exit before he can even try. Kids, don't try this at home. It's not something you want to do if you got chicken strips on your bike, that's for sure. See, we got any time? Yeah, we're still recording, huh? Fuck it. I'll bullshit. I'll shoot the shit. I'll shoot the shit. Well, on second thought, getting kind of late, man. I'm finna go see my kids. To finish this video off, I just gotta say, this video isn't meant to disrespect anybody. These two YouTubers that this video was intended for. If you turn out to watch this, I just had to make a comment about your video. It's just commentary. It's just criticism towards your view on chicken strips. I was watching a video where this guy was rev matching while he was downshifting, going up to a red light. So you flip that throttle to bring the RPMs back up to where it needs to be in order to have a smoother downshift. But rev matching is not the proper way to actually come up to something like a red light. So if you're like stopping your motorcycle, going into a gas station, or you know, pulling up to the crib or coming up to a red light. Rev matching is really pathetic when you really think about it. If you're coming into a turn, you rev match to keep that smooth pace as you're going into the turn, and also so you don't get none of that kickback to slow you down when you're breaking into a turn, because really, even though you're breaking into a turn, you really want to go into that turn as fast as you can without busting your ass, you know. The proper way to stop your bike and downshift is just simply pull the clutch in and downshift. So if you're coming up to a red light, pull your clutch in and downshift. When you're ready to go, roll that throttle back and release the clutch. It's less wear and tear on your bike. It's less wear and tear on your engine. I mean, I ain't got nothing against people who, you know, rev match. When I was riding my first 1 or 2 years riding, I was rev matching. When I learned how to brake and rev match at the same time, I was doing that all over the place. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it sounded cool as hell. It made you look cool as hell. But there's no other reason to do it unless you're going into a turn fast. If you're breaking into a turn, then that's one thing. But if you're stopping at a red light, well, rev match is simply it's just a look. You just like the sound. It's not practical. That's a good example of doing something just to do it. Like I'm doing right now with this red light. I pull my clutch in and let's stop. Less wear and tear. In the long run, your engine's a lot happier when you're not rev matching for no reason. But, you know, I don't think people who do it is whack. I'll just point that out because that's a good example, comparing that to people who lean off their bike or people who, you know, ride corners fast. They do it because they like doing it. They do it because they feel cool doing it. They do it because they look cool doing it. They do it because it's fun. You know, people pop wheelies and they ride that wheelie, which is not really what you're supposed to do on a bike. You know, that front end will come up, but you bring it back down. But people do it because it's fun. They like doing it. It makes them look cool, makes them feel cool. So people got their reasons of doing things. Is there a risk? Sure, there's a risk. I mean, there's a risk, period, being on a bike. It's just what it is. And so, you know, there's people out there that's willing to take the broken bone, get that adrenaline rush. Maybe he was riding with some people he couldn't keep up or something like that. Maybe they was getting on him. I don't know what happened. But if you in your car drifting around corners and shit, man, you really don't have any business telling anybody what they doing is stupid. You know, having chicken strips or not having chicken strips, it doesn't have anything to do with confidence. Because, I mean, let's get real. You do not need to be Rozzy Valentino hitting corners like Casey Stoner to get rid of chicken strips. You really don't actually have to go down that far to get rid of your chicken strips. I mean, really, you really don't. I mean, I'll tell you what. Just doing this, just doing that right there, that'll get rid of your chicken strips. I mean, it really doesn't take much. And that's why people just, you know, they kind of clown that shit. Do you even lean? Do you even lean? So that ain't got nothing to do with self-conscious. I actually don't know anybody that actually rides around trying to get rid of their chicken strip. I've never met anybody like that. If you ride rough, you hit corners rough, you ain't gonna have no chicken strips. You ride like a grandma, you hit corners like a grandma, you'll have chicken strips. Hence the name chicken strips. The adrenaline rush is a motherfucking high and it's addictive. This is my video, my first video, so excuse the editing and all that stuff. I'm not Steven Spielberg. I'll do the best I can. I'll get better at it though. Peace.
I am slowly becoming a ghost of me.